is an armchair expert, but he makes mistakes all the time. Thank God Monica's here. She's gonna let him have the facts.
Oh, look at our trophy.
Look at our trophy.
That's a cool trophy. Very space age.
Yeah, it's meant to be hung.
Okay.
It has this at the bottom. I guess it looks like a quotation above someone's head.
It does.
I'm holding up a square Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard, Spotify 500 million streams plaque we were awarded. Gold status, I was told. Gold status. I need to start this fact check by saying my most deepest thank you. I've never been more grateful than last night. I was asked to be one of Bill's 10 or 11 stops on his book tour.
Yeah, awesome.
And it was at a live event, the Carmere, I don't know, some beautiful theater.
Ooh, where?
In San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Sorry if you already said that.
No, I don't think I did.
Okay.
For the listener, I didn't say that.
Okay.
Okay. It's not our show, right?
Yeah.
It's not handheld mics. I can't go out and ahead of time and warm everything up and then bring Bill out. There's like a whole thing, you know, it's their show.
Right.
And there'll be a video and another woman introduce us for a while. And then we sit down. I'm in the wrong side. Suffice to say, it just wasn't like one of our shows.
Sure.
So I guess they gave me not a ton. I'm not going to exaggerate. Maybe like 20% nerves.
Of course. It's different.
And it's like, I don't know if it's all people there to see Bill Gates and they're learning who I am and they don't understand I'm going to have a sense of humor, whatever. All this to say, soon as we sat down, I said, are there any armchairs here? And Monty,
they loved it.
The whole place was armchairs.
Oh, that's so
and
sweet.
I immediately felt so comfortable and confident and relaxed.
That's awesome.
And I was so grateful. I couldn't believe how grateful I was. I was like, fucking armchairs, show up.
They really do show up.
Yeah. And you know, I had my whole family.
Yes, your original family.
The OF.
Yep. Your sister, your brother, and your mom.
That's right. The original crew. Yeah. The original four.
Yeah.
The Fab Four.
Was that lovely?
It was lovely. Yeah. And they got to meet Bill for a while.
Yeah.
And my brother has been obsessed with Bill since he was a kid.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because my brother was very into computers.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, how special.
Obsessed with Bill Gates his whole life.
Okay.
Even when I was talking to him before the event, I was saying like, oh my God, you got to read the book. It's so funny. There are so many funny stories in this book about him being 13 and showing up places with a briefcase and business suits on and making products. And the whole thing is it sounds like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, my favorite thing is that his mom said, what are you doing in here in his bedroom? And he said, I'm thinking you should try it. And my brother just knew all this stuff I had just learned in the book that he somehow had already known. Anywho, they got to chat for quite a long time. It was a very special experience for my brother.
That's great.
And yeah, it was sweet. And then yesterday, we gave it to San Francisco straight up the hiney. In 4 hours, we saw that whole city, Monica.
Nice.
We saw Alcatraz. We saw the Golden Gate Bridge, the Bay Bridge. We went through Chinatown. We went through North Beach. We went to Lombard Street. We got on the trolley and rode the full loop of the trolley.
Wow.
Hanging out the side, Monica.
So is that something you do with your original family? Because I don't think you do that with your current family.
No, my brother had never been to San Francisco, shockingly. But seeing Alcatraz and all that stuff, the Golden Gate Bridge, all very exciting. Trolley, Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco tree.
Full House, Ding Ding Ding, Olsen's.
Lombard Street. Do you know Lombard Street?
I've heard. I don't know.
It's the one that's really twisty that goes down the extremely steep. And when my brother and I were children, there was a show called You Can't Do This on Television. No, that's Nickelodeon. It was called That's Incredible.
Ooh.
Doug DeMocus, the wheelie king, rode a dirt bike, a wheelie, down Lombard Street.
Oh.
Never putting it down. Rode over cars on a wheelie.
Oh, that sounds bad.
It was a very memorable, seminal moment on television for us. And so to be on Lombard where our hero Doug DeMocus had done that sweet wheelie. And then some armchairs were in a 1960s VW microbus coming down Lombard Street and started hollering out the window.
Sometimes people shout out the window in their armchairs. This happens.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to anyone who does that to me, which has happened a few times, don't think I'm a bitch if
you get shook a little bit.
Yeah. Or my first reaction is like really like
twist eye rolly.
Not eye rolly, like don't
hurt me.
Yeah, don't hurt me. Okay. Don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me, please.
Or I look scared and angry. That's just my reaction. But then you
let it in.
But then they say like, I'm listening, or I listen, or I'm not, whatever. And then I
stopped listening. Well, I
don't like it anymore. What happened?
He yelled up.
Should have never done video. Yeah, recently a guy did that. He honked, and then I looked over with a mean face, and then he pointed. He was listening at that moment. He like raised the volume, and that was exciting. But
I got scared when you thought
sorry.
When you just pointed. It looked like he was pointing at his crotch, but it was obvious it was the
An armchair
dashboard.
would never do that.
I know he wouldn't, but I'm saying it was clear that he was pointing to his stereo.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because when you just did it, it wasn't clear.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, so go on. Lombard Street.
In Lombard Street, Chinatown, little Italy, Alcatraz. That fucking trolley made us so happy. The cable card. Because that's really
classic.
I just said the cable card. Cable card.
It didn't read.
You know, I just think it's nuts. There's a cable running under the street.
It is
that they put in 1870. That's
still
just
going
in a circle. Also had some great meals.
Ooh.
Really great meals.
San Francisco has great cuisine.
Oh my goodness. In fact, one of these places, if you're there, I insist you go, called Cavalier. It's done up. It's a bar, restaurant, tavern, and it's done as an English hunting lodge. And the decor really works for me.
For everyone.
There's
a reason aesthetics are important. I guess I should admit something really gross.
Okay. Distasteful.
Yeah, just bad. But since we are honest here, when you started your fact check about wanting to say thank you, I thought you were saying thank you to me.
Oh, I can thank you as well.
Because I thought where the story was going was that
it's so much easier together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's totally true. I should have said that. Now I'm sad I didn't say that.
No.
Yeah. I always walk out with you.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we eat a big turd together, it'll be together.
Right. I thought maybe that's what was coming. And then I thought, it's not, maybe it's a different thank you also to me because.
Because what? Because what was the second reason? I'll probably agree with it too.
Because you were gone, and you, as you said, you took your sweet sister, who runs this household, keeps it in check.
Yes,
and Kristen was at a table read yesterday. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but
I think it came out.
Yeah, it's been announced
for the show.
Yeah, season 2.
Bill inquired about it
because he's a dad. So
he's a dad. I tried to explain that to him. He didn't understand that that's why he liked it.
Yeah, it's hard to explain that to people. But anyway, so she was at a table read. So she was at Fox. So she was far away, and Anna was with her.
Yeah.
And Lincoln had a tummy ache.
Oh no! So did you have to rescue her?
So I went to pick her up.
Was that your first time at that school?
Yes, and
isn't it beautiful?
First of all, it's beautiful. We won't say what it is.
No,
even though you probably already have on here.
I haven't.
But it's beautiful. But I was lost.
Yep.
It's like big.
It's like a mini UCLA.
There's a campus. And I was lost, and I kept having to ask like teens.
But they're so confident. I think the first thing is you're like, wow, this is a really pretty campus.
Yeah.
That quickly pales in comparison to how palpable the confidence is of all those gals running around.
Yeah.
They're living out loud.
But yeah, so I kept having to ask all these teens. One teen really was like, the middle school's over there. Like she was mad at me.
Middle school, yeah.
And I was like, I'm cool. Like I have a podcast. Do you listen to podcasts? I must have stopped 3 different people and I could not figure it out. But I eventually.
I never got her.
She's still there.
Did she get home?
And then, she picked me up.
She swung by on her motorcycle and grabbed me because I was lost.
But it was so cute. And she said, "Oh, I thought you would be in San Francisco or whatever. I thought you'd be with Dad." And I said, "Oh no, it's just Dad." She was like, "He kicked you out?"
Oh, Jesus.
And I said, "No, that's not really how it works."
No benefit of the doubt. There.
Yeah, no.
She went straight to kicked you out.
She did. And I said, "Yeah, you should punch him." I didn't want to tell her that her appendix might explode and that's what was maybe going on.
Yeah, sure. That was your first, though.
That was my instinct. So I stuck around in case it didn't explode.
It didn't.
It didn't.
Did she have a poop and then feel
Probably.
better?
I didn't ask.
Yeah, I'll find out tonight.
Okay.
My first question.
Involved about the poops.
Did you get that thing out? Did you get it? I have one really special moment. Before the show, they said, we want to do a viral video with them. And I was like, of course. So we played this game.
Heads up.
And then what's funny is it was tests on things from the book.
Oh.
But they put in Catcher in the Rye, which wasn't in the book.
Okay.
But he said something and then I got it. It was on my head.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Was that in the book?" And I go, "I don't think that was in the book. Is that one of your favorite books?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah." And I go, "Oh, it's my absolute favorite book." And then we talk for 2 seconds and I go, "Is that why you named your daughter Phoebe?" And he goes, "Yeah."
Oh, cute.
And I go, from the second I read that book, I was like, if I have a daughter, it's going to be Phoebe. And it felt very connected. I really liked it. I had the same exact.
Wow.
Kadams and I had that bonding moment too.
Aww.
I think a handful of men have named their daughters Phoebe because they fell in love with that character.
You know you didn't do that, right?
Is that not my firstborn's name?
I'm so sorry to tell you.
Maybe.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's because we thought we were having a boy, if you recall.
Sure.
Now,
you have another.
Delta could have ended up being a Phoebe.
Yeah, she would have been such a good Phoebe.
Yes, she would have.
That name really would have worked for her.
It would. Although Delta really works pretty good for her,
of course.
too. Yeah.
I can't imagine. Yeah. Maybe if I have one, I'll name it Phoebe.
That's a ding, ding, ding. People have been pointing out in the comments that my new over-indexing is Delta.
Oh.
Which is 100% true.
Yeah.
Not Delta, my daughter.
Oh.
The distance between two things.
Oh.
The gap. Yeah. When I talk about, I'll say Delta and people are really noticing it. And I'm guilty as charged.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it. It's very efficient.
It is.
Instead of saying the difference between or a gap between.
Yeah, actually, I guess you do that.
I do it a lot. Huh. Yeah. I really got it from Formula One. They use Delta a lot in Formula One. What did you do while I was gone? Other than get lost at Lincoln
on
School.
Campus.
Yeah.
Oh, there's just something about being at school.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I went to In-N-Out this weekend.
You did?
Yeah.
You got animal style fries and a what? A single?
And I got I'm
gonna blow my nose.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Have
you blown today?
I've lost some progress.
Oh, all right.
But it hasn't returned to the insanity, but it's also.
Okay. Did you slip up on your trip?
With blowing?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Hotel room.
Well, I bring tissues over to the bed every night to have them ready. And then when they're there, then I kind of got to use them. Sure. But I can't risk that I will make it without blowing my nose and have to get up. There's a lot of stuff to consider.
I know. Did anything else interesting happen this week? Oh, my God, Super Bowl.
Oh, That would be crazy. What was your favorite commercial?
The Nike women's commercial.
That was awesome.
I love
Playing
it.
Led Zeppelin.
Oh, I bought the shirt.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
that was a very cool commercial.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the best. But man, I love Willem Dafoe.
I do too.
I mean,
with Catherine O'Hara.
I know.
That was a good pairing.
But he's just
friend of the pod. Go check out his episode.
He's so unique. What a gift he is.
He is.
He's a blessing.
Love him.
Yeah. I loved that.
He's a blessing.
He is.
Yeah, that was good.
He's like in a Wes Anderson movie, even if he's in a commercial.
That was great. I couldn't hear all of them.
Yeah, I didn't see most of them. I started it an hour and a half late.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, and then fast forwarded through everything to catch up.
Okay.
Not needing to catch up as it turned out because nothing changed.
Yeah, but the only thing I cared about really delivered, which was the halftime show.
Oh, the halftime show.
Oh my God.
I loved it, but I definitely thought his mic was too low. I was having the hardest time hearing him, like the first 4 songs.
Well, we couldn't hear, but it was
a bad mix.
It was the TV, no, because when I watched it on YouTube, I could hear everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should watch it on YouTube.
I wonder if on YouTube they cleaned that up a bit.
Oh, maybe.
But on the broadcast, I was like, his vocals need to be way up. Just barely hearing the words.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
I thought it was so good and so well done and so smart, as he is, all of those things. I don't know. I just thought it was so powerful. I loved it. And there's all these like I love hidden things.
Okay, what were some of the Heidi's?
I love clues.
Yeah, what was in there?
Well, did you realize these probably aren't clues. They're probably obvious, but stage was a PlayStation because the whole thing is like the game. So he's like playing this game with Drake. Also, when Samuel L. Jackson is out there, it's kind of. I
thought he was incredible.
Uncle Sam.
Oh my God, he was so incredible. That's a hard lift. He's got to pop in and out. Perfect timing.
I know.
Finish before he's got to start. That was complicated.
Yeah.
And he was great.
He was perfect. But yeah.
He was almost more Kendrick Lamar than Kendrick Lamar.
No, don't say that. Don't cut that.
No.
Oh my God, no.
Sam Jackson's like the original Kendrick Lamar.
Well,
I'm sure that's why he was there.
Yeah, he of course is iconic. Mm-hmm. But
they have the same vibe and spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the message
no tap dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It's really
We're not playing this game. Yeah, that was great. Serena.
Yeah.
You didn't see that? You have to rewatch
Serena
Williams.
She sang?
She came out and was crip dancing.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought you were saying the female singer was Serena.
No, that's SZA. She's huge.
I was like, I think you got close, but I don't think it's Serena.
I know what I'm talking about.
I know, you know more than I do. For sure. I didn't see Serena crib walking.
You definitely need to rewatch. Okay.
I had it very loud. And I got goosebumps several times.
When it's the American flag and he's standing in the middle of it and they're all of the dancers in the arrangement are black. Just so powerful.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
It was. It really was. I love him. I want him to come on this show so badly.
Yes, me too. I had to get brought up to speed by Tim Lovestead.
About the beef?
About the beef,
I told you a little bit about the beef.
I know about the pedophile part.
Yeah.
I know about the lawsuits.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he called Drake a colonizer. I didn't know that whole aspect.
That's in the song, yeah.
Yeah, and that Drake had accused him of making slave music. Did you know that part?
No, but I know Drake. So I guess there was this huge
and Drake
weekend.
Is rich, I heard.
Drake is rich.
Drake was grew up rich, I heard.
Oh, yeah, he's from Canada. Drake is.
I have zero opinion on Drake. I just want to say that out loud.
Me too.
I have zero feelings.
I have zero feelings about Drake, except apparently, and there's a daily on this.
Oh, there is? Okay.
Drake likes these beefs. Like he starts them. It's part of.
They're good for business.
Sure.
Yeah.
But this one really got out from under him. And Kendrick isn't really ever the type to get involved in these types of things. He's kind of like, which Drake also calls out, like, oh, you think you're so.
Few beefs.
Kendrick?
Yeah. He's also in a beef with Andrew Schultz.
Oh.
Did you not see that?
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And Andrew did not at all kowtow. He just went straight to war with them. And
what is that
crazy.
beef?
We'll have to watch all the videos. He has a line about don't let a white comedian make fun of our women or something.
Oh.
And then and it's believed that he's referencing Andrew. And Andrew then comes out and says he's just not terribly worried about Kendrick, and his attack back is like, oh, here's the dudes you've supported who have raped women and who have beaten women. I don't think I'm your dude. So that was his pushback, and got saucy.
Well,
and I thought, boy, Andrew, you're pissing off.
That's so stupid of him.
A very, very diehard fan base, but he's got at least those two going. But back to Drake.
Yeah. Okay. But in the hip hop world, he doesn't really do this because he kind of is. Drake says it too. Like you think you're so great, but you think you're this like poet.
Yeah.
Which he is.
Yeah.
Anywho, Drake is rich and very popular and blends. He's not straight up hip hop.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
It's more poppy mixed with hip hop. Exactly.
Yeah. Club music.
Yeah. So people think he's a phony.
I found myself with that tension of loving a good fuck you song and then knowing the better part of myself doesn't like this.
Yeah, me too. But I in this case, I don't care.
You went for it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting charged up by this.
Yes.
And obviously that's not my aim in life, is to like be pumped when someone else is telling another person to fuck off.
Me either.
Effectively.
Well, okay, I agree.
Unless there's a huge class distinction, of course, then I do enjoy it. But regardless.
Yeah, I am with you. I don't enjoy
a beef,
diss track or a beef. I've never been into a beef before.
Right. This is your first beef.
This is my first foray into beefs.
The world of beefs.
But now that I listen to The Daily and I know how many, so it was like this big weekend, I guess, where they were like back and forth. They kept putting out songs in retaliation to one another. At the end, in the audience, after the halftime show, it says game over.
Right.
Because he won.
Right.
And he did win. That song, his diss track won 5 Grammys.
Right.
Sorry, I feel bad. I actually do feel kind of bad for Drake, but he did start it.
I don't even know.
He started it according to The Daily.
Okay. All right. I'm nervous. I don't want to be on either side of it.
Why?
Because I don't want to join a team when half the other people hate the team. I don't want to be on a team that's hated by half of people. It's not my desire in life.
I know.
If I care deeply about this feud between Drake and Kendrick, I might, but I don't care at all. These are both very rich, talented dudes. I don't think there's an oppressed person in this.
Yeah. I mean, they did come from very different backgrounds. It'd be like you who came from a certain background, you probably feel like you have more of an entitlement to talk about that and rap about that than somebody who didn't experience it.
Mm-hmm. But again, I don't even know enough about Drake. Is he rapping about the hood?
He raps about bling.
Okay. Since we're talking about pop culture, which we rarely do, and I tend to, for whatever reason, be allergic to. Did you know the Kanye thing?
Yes.
So step one was arriving at the Grammys uninvited with the wife who was then naked. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was event number one. Mm-hmm. And then he paid for his own Super Bowl commercial.
Yep.
Yes.
Which directed people to go to his website.
Go to Yeezy.com.
Yeah.
And if you went to Yeezy.com, there was a single item for sale, and it was a shirt with a swastika on it.
Yep.
I mean, this is absolutely mad as conceivable.
This is horrible.
I'm dying to know.
It's so bad.
I'm dying to hear his thought process. I'm just dying to understand how he got himself to a point where he paid for a Super Bowl commercial.
He hates Jewish people. He says it. It's not, we don't have to read through the lines. The fact that that's not illegal, although now I guess there's talk about the NFL maybe suing him because when he did the commercial, that wasn't up. He had real items on his site until the next day he changed it.
Yeah.
So I guess there is some conversation about him being sued for that, but I don't. It's
what I want to know.
So embarrassing.
What I want to know, to be clear, is the same thing I wanted to talk to Roseanne about. He knows this is a very damaging move
I don't know.
It's like
I don't know what
it's
he
like
knows and
passing
what
a
he
point of
doesn't
no
know.
return.
It's been like that, though. He keeps doing stuff like this.
Yeah, I
over
mean, they're
and over and
escalating
over.
in severity. He wasn't previously, to my knowledge, selling swastika shirts. as
No,
a
but
business.
he was saying openly he hates Jewish people, and
He's like he's getting close to being a neo-Nazi.
Close.
He's a okay,
He
right.
is 100%.
He's a black neo-Nazi.
yes, he is.
Now, how does a rational, at one time seemingly savvy
Maybe.
and rational person end up here? Other than just the obvious bipolar.
Yeah, he's bipolar. But
Yeah.
yes, as I was reading something today, like that's for people who are like, well, he's bipolar, which he is.
Yeah.
95% of bipolar people aren't hate filled. They're not using it to hurt people.
Yeah. And if you found out Hitler was bipolar, you wouldn't go like, oh,
that makes
okay.
sense. Yeah.
I have a whole theory I'm not entitled to have about Roseanne, which is I think the racism aside, it was racist. I acknowledge it. But that's just one of many historic things she has done at the height of her popularity to really alienate everyone and test whether they love her.
Yeah.
Like the famous...
well, that's you. That's you deciding and test what. Like that's you being very introspective and saying you think it's because deep down she's testing whether.
Yeah, I think
they'll love her.
when she sang the national anthem intentionally poorly and annoyingly, and she pissed everyone off, and it's like the patriotism flared up, and she's brilliant. So she's too smart to not know that wasn't a good move. So then I wonder, what story is she confirming by doing this thing? Like, well, how could she, as smart as she was, convince herself that I'm going to do this? And I think it's this, you don't believe all these people that love you really love you. And then your brain comes up with this bizarre test of that.
Yeah.
To find out, to confirm you're right, basically, that no one really loves you. They love this fake version of you they see on TV or hear in music. I have to believe that's going on with Kanye.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I appreciate that you really give people, and I don't think you're giving him the benefit of the doubt, but like, I think
a bunch of things have gone terribly wrong in his life that he's the author of, no question.
Yeah, he creates chaos. And I think you and probably many people feel like there's a empathetic reason behind that.
Well, I just think there's a reason other than that Kanye West was born evil, and now we're seeing it, and he hid it for 40 years.
But do you think, but you don't think anyone's born evil, and I don't either. But I think people become. I do think there are people in this world who become irredeemable. They become so driven to chaos and destruction and. I'm not making an argument that he should be redeemed. No, I would hope. Yeah, no.
I'm not making an argument that people who have committed crimes should not go sit in prison. But I am working with an assumption that something happened to them that now resulted in this. I think there are serial killers, and I think there's narcissists, and I think there's sociopaths who enjoy, and there are sadists who like to hurt things. I know those people exist.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of non-mental pathology people do really weird stuff that I'm quite curious why they would ruin their lives in this way. Like, this is a person who's ruined their life.
Oh, yeah. But over and over, like, it's not, keeps doing it. He keeps causing harm.
Does it seem like a tragedy to you? Because it seems like a tragedy to me.
It seems like a waste to me.
Yeah.
But I don't think of it as a tragedy. I think what he's doing to people, I think causing this kind of fear and instability and across the board, even when he like goes up and steals a thing from Taylor, it's mean, it's bad. I'm also of the belief that a lot of that type specifically thrives off oxygen. And so I don't really want to give him any ever. Like, I think he's disgusting and I don't want to talk about him really. I mean, this is a fine conversation, but everyone's, of course, like posting about it. And there was another shirt made in retaliation, which I think is awesome. That is what he wants. He wants chaos. He wants a reaction. He wants people to be scared and be angry. And I don't want to play.
Right.
Like, bye, just go away.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Do you think he's sold any?
I don't know. Well, it's gone now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Shopify took it down.
Okay. Let's just say it's a historic public meltdown for the ages. I mean, this is one of the most bizarre things.
But it's not that bizarre because it's been such a long, he's been escalating to this for so long.
I mean, there was a period where he was just writing incredible music.
A long time ago.
Came up with some of the greatest Jay-Z songs with him. Like, there was some period where he was just a volcano of incredible creativity.
He was. But we also don't know who he was back then. Like,
no, when I watched the doc about him before he got really crazy, what I saw is a guy who had some very deep social challenges his whole life. I think he's been very atypical as a person.
I think so too.
You know what part of the problem is? I can admit.
Mm-hmm.
I so can't relate to hating Jewish people. It seems like the dumbest thing to me.
Yeah.
And so it's so cuckoo that I wonder, how does one get themselves there?
I hear you. And that's me too. I'm like, I don't even understand this.
Right.
But 6 million of them were killed because someone didn't like them. One person who created such a massive revolution that like 6 million of them were killed. So it sounds cuckoo, and then that is also reality we're living in.
There's a huge history of it. Even before they killed them, they weren't allowed to participate in most of the economy.
Yeah, I think
they've been very poorly treated for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah, there's an underestimation of making a group the scapegoat of a problem.
Yeah. And
how really bad that can get.
When you have poor white people living in the same city with poor black people and poor Latinos, we see the lack of resources and the competition that's definitely going to file into these in-groups. It's kind of quite predictable. Like, it's a bunch of people in scarcity blaming one another for their scarcity makes a lot of sense. I'm not even sure where you're interacting in that circle. Like, you're not thinking Jewish people have taken your jobs. You're not thinking like all these other things that perpetuate that kind of inner city poor stereotyping and racism.
Yeah.
It's just like they're not going to jail a lot. There's not like, I'm not even sure. They're
they control the media. There's narratives. I mean, they're ridiculous, but there are narratives that get built about. That's why I'm so allergic to any stereotype, whether it's good or bad, because you don't know.
What the good ones?
No, because it's
I like the good ones.
As soon as you start doing massive generalizations, it's
Indians
slippery.
have really great hair.
No, only me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. It is. I've been not really paying on purpose too much attention to what has been going on in the world. It does feel a little irresponsible. Like, I'm trying to figure out the line of complete ignoring and keeping my sanity. Yeah. I haven't really found it yet, so I'm sort of not partaking at all. But yeah, things make your way to you, and it is scary. I mean, it's just that, and then to circle back to a little bit is, oh my God, it's so crazy. He put this T-shirt up. It's not that crazy because permission has been granted by our most elite in charge to say whatever the fuck you want to say, to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Elon is doing a Hail Hitler that was at our United States inauguration. So, I'm just saying, like, it's not out of nowhere that someone crazy like that is going to feel like, well, now is the time I can put my t-shirt up. Okay. Well, speaking of stereotypes, Walton.
Oh, Walton Goggins.
Shout out to Georgia Southern, a school near where I grew up.
How far? 60 miles?
Ooh, I don't know about miles.
Probably further because Atlanta's really in the middle. So if it's called Southern, it's got to be closer to Florida, no?
No, it's in
the Georgia, the Atlanta area?
Well, it's in Georgia.
Right, but is it in southern Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay, closer to Florida.
I guess.
I would imagine.
I guess I've never thought of it as closer to Florida, but yeah.
That's to the south of you.
Let's find out how far it is from my parents' house.
Great.
I'm going to use maps for that.
Okay, good.
Okay. It's 3 hours and 28 minutes.
Okay, so more than 60 miles. 150, 160?
Yeah.
180?
It's 231 miles.
Whoa, that's very far.
Wow. From my parents.
From your parents. So it must really be on that border.
It's
Florida
here.
almost.
It's here. And that's Savannah on the coast there.
Okay, so it's a bit east and south from Atlanta.
So
but it's pretty close to Jacksonville, yeah.
Yeah, not too far.
Not too bad.
Not too far.
You could be there for a lunch appointment if you had to.
Oh, wow.
Get some fresh oranges.
I had a lot of friends who went there.
Did you guys would drive to Disney World, obviously, right?
Yeah.
You're very close.
Yeah, we would.
Or were we about
8
6
hours.
Okay. At the speed your father drove.
It was 8 hours.
I think I could do it in 5.
Let me put it in. Disney World. 6 hours, 55 minutes.
Okay.
472 miles.
Okay. I'm sure you guys had to stop. I know what it's like.
Yeah, we had to stop
We couldn't go more than 60 damn miles this summer in Europe.
Okay, tortuga. Yes, Spanish word for turtle.
Well, what's a great word.
It is.
Yeah.
His earliest memories are in Decatur. My mom worked at Decatur Federal Bank.
For
That
how
was
long?
one of her first jobs.
Okay. How long did she serve? I thank her for her service too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, an annulment.
Yes. How does an annulment work?
Okay. An annulment is a legal ruling that ends a marriage by declaring it invalid. It makes the marriage null and void as if it never happened. Here are the criteria. Fraud, if one spouse tricked the other into marriage.
Yeah.
Coercion, if one spouse was forced into the marriage.
Okay.
Mental incapacity, that's really bad.
Hard to
That's
prove.
ding, ding, ding. Kanye's wife.
Oh, okay.
They could get an annulment. If one spouse was not mentally capable of marrying. Physical inability, if one spouse is unable to consummate the marriage.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Yeah, you were against this and I was for this.
I know, I'm against it.
Because you can't, if someone marries you
yeah.
and they can't perform sex with you, you needed to say that ahead of time because you can't just surprise someone and say, guess what? Sex won't be a part of this marriage. You can go, well, then that's obviously the understanding was there would be sex.
But what if you are married, you're having sex.
Yeah.
And then
It's been consummated.
Yeah, it has been consummated.
Yeah.
Oh, is consummate just the first time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not like then in 2 months.
It's like you get married and a year later, you still haven't had sex.
Well, what if you have sex and then you stop being able to? Some men have that issue.
Right.
So then can you annul after like a year and a half?
It sounds like consummated is a very operative word.
Okay.
In this. Yeah. So it sounds like never had sex.
Okay. That's fair.
You need to tell someone up front about that.
What if you don't know? What if you've had sex with other people and then for some reason with this person, you just can't
You should get your
perform?
marriage annulled and find a partner you can have sex with. That's my suggestion there for both parties.
What about if
Fraud? There was fraud. Fraud was listed in the divorce, in the annulment with Kenny Chesney.
Renee Zellweger.
And Renee Zellweger.
But what happened?
I know. That's the great curiosity. What was fraudulent about what he was promising?
Or her?
I think she cited fraud.
Oh.
If memory serves me.
Okay.
This has been a very
gossipy,
extra inside Hollywood edition.
Yeah. Incest if the marriage between people who are too closely related by blood, I agree with that one.
Cousins, though?
I agree.
Wait, you don't think cousins can get married?
No.
Oh, you don't? That one's very loosey-goosey.
What?
Yeah. We had an
Dax?
expert on that had a whole chapter about incest and is going through the world. And it's very rare for a culture to have forbid cousins to get married. It's very common everywhere.
No. Cousins? You mean like second and third and fourth?
I don't want to marry any of my cousins.
Right.
But I can also imagine never even meeting your cousin.
I haven't met some of mine, but I don't want to marry them.
What if you met them and you meet them for the first time at 37?
Yeah.
And they're gorgeous.
Great.
Let's get married.
Great.
Right?
Meet me at the chapel.
Yeah.
No, that's so
This is a Jonathan Haidt thing.
Cyclopses.
No, so that's a little exaggerated.
Well,
it's not between siblings, but
It still can when it's too close, it's not good.
yeah. But
That's science.
this was a part of the
book you can't
chapter.
remember?
I want to say it might have been Paul Bloom the last time I read
okay.
his thing. I think it's been a little exaggerated, the genetic risk of cousins. I don't want to be with my cousins, but I don't think I care if other cousins are together.
Really?
I don't think I do. I have to make myself care. I don't.
I guess people can do what they want.
I mean, it's very common throughout the world.
As you
Someone's
said.
preferred.
No, it's
Yeah, a lot of
not.
places it's preferred.
No, it's not. Okay, bigamy. If one spouse was already married to someone else,
Yeah,
that feels fair.
Yeah.
Bigamy is the only one we can come together on. That's
You and I?
sad. Yeah.
Well,
No, mental incapacity, right? And physical.
Yeah, we don't. And coercion.
And coercion and
what
fraud.
one don't we? It's just consummation.
Incest.
And cousins.
Consummation. Because, consummation is physical. Yeah. I know. I'm on the fence about that
I can't
one.
believe you're on the fence about that.
What
Why
if-
get
okay,
married? Be
okay,
friends.
What if you're in, because love is more than sex and friends.
No, sexual love is romantic love, and you get married. And then you have friendships that are loving and supportive. You could be roommates. That's great. But entering into the romantic bond of marriage with no attraction to the person or interest in it being sexual with them, I think is a deal breaker. That's a total deal breaker. No, hold on. I want to be very clear. If you're asexual, I honor that. And you said to the person, I'm asexual. I don't ever want to have sex.
Yeah.
Great. And that person's like, cool, I don't either. Go crazy.
Right. But no,
But you really need to declare that.
Okay.
That can't be a surprise.
okay. I want to pivot this a little bit. You put sexual love and romantic love in the same bucket. You call that the same
Those are
bucket,
synonymous,
right?
yes.
For you, those are synonymous.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You think that's
I
novel?
think there are three buckets. I think
Okay.
there's sexual attraction,
Okay.
romantic love, and then friendship love.
Why would romantic love be different than the sexual bucket?
Because
Who would you be romantically in love with that you didn't want to have sex with? You would just be in love with them as a friend.
no, like I think maybe this is gendered, but I think for a lot of women, not me because I'm not married, but I could see this. I could see over time being less sexually attracted. I mean, this happens in every marriage,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
become like less sexually attracted to your marriage partner.
Yeah.
But you're still romantically in love with them. You love them in a way you don't love your friends.
Yes, but you had a sexual relationship that has slowed down, as opposed to you were never intending to have a sexual relationship, and sex was never going to be a part of this.
I guess I'm just saying, to me, they're three buckets. They're not like loving someone romantically or loving a partner apart from sex is a different kind of love and care and then a love for a friend. For me, for you, no, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm either I want a romantic love with a woman or I want a friendship love with them. There's no third bucket for me. And considering lust, sure, there's people I would love to have sex with that I would not want to hang out with, which is kind of gendered, generally speaking. But yeah, there's no one that I would want a romantic relationship with that I wouldn't want to have sex with. Wouldn't happen.
Right.
Then they would just be a friend. And I wouldn't marry them.
Yeah.
You want to marry a friend
No.
and have no sex.
No, I did not.
And not justify an annulment if they ask for it.
I did not say that. I didn't say that. I just think romantic love is different than sexual attraction. Obviously, you want both in your husband.
Like romantic love
wife.
is wanting to kiss the person's lips.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that's the same thing as sexual attraction.
But
those aren't different things to me.
But over time,
like there's no one I want to kiss really bad, but then don't want to have sex with. If I want to kiss them and I love them,
but like over time in the not to get too personal, but like every time you kiss Kristen, you want to have sex with her. Like, no, like it's
no, but I would like to have sex with Kristen.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I didn't want to have sex with her, that would be an issue.
But if you didn't want to have sex, let's say like now, after so many years, you stopped really wanting to have sex with her, but you would still love her romantically in a way that is different than how you love.
Yeah, I think comparing something 20 years out and week one, no one's getting a marriage annulled after 20 years. I'm talking, you marry someone, it is revealed to you they have no intention to have a sexual relationship with you. I think you're definitely entitled to get out of that marriage. No problem.
I mean, I guess I agree.
It's false advertisement.
Well, also it's on you. Why haven't you asked about their sexual appetites before you married them?
Well, I think you have said, I can't wait to be married. I can't wait for our first night. I'm
then
sure.
That's fraud.
And then the person didn't go, there's not going to be a first night, just so you know. Because I don't want to have sex with you because I'm not romantically attracted to you.
What if they want to really bad, but they just can't?
Meaning they can't get an erection?
Yeah.
Again, if you are not able to ever get an erection and have sex with your wife, then I think your wife's entitled to be with someone who can. I am sorry. It's already a bummer for you. It shouldn't also be a bummer for that person.
Okay, what if a couple was waiting to have sex until they got married?
Yeah.
And then they both were really horny. He could get it up.
Yeah.
She could get it in.
Yeah.
But then on the night of the wedding, his dick gets cut off by a stranger. A robber comes in and he starts attacking, and the robber cuts his dick off and leaves.
It's still not fraud because you didn't false advertise.
Right.
Someone cut your dick off.
Yeah.
Someone cuts my dick off, I'm still going to put a lot of energy into making sure Kristen's still having lots of sexual experiences.
But not sexual intercourse.
With my penis? No, because it's
consummate.
gone. It's gone.
That's called consummate.
Okay, so it's on the actual day of the wedding. Yeah. I mean, that's quite complicated.
Okay.
And I don't know if we have a single case of that ever happening.
Okay, well.
But if that happened, that would be up to the gal to decide if she wanted to never have sex the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Or if she decided she does want to have sex, then what arrangement could they work out where she could still have sex and they could still be married?
Do you think most men would allow her to?
No, most men are very jealous
I
and
know.
terrified. Yeah.
That's the thing. They would not allow her to go have sex with
I would
other
for sure. And I would almost insist on it. And she probably might even
She'd be like,
want
can you
to.
stop?
Yeah, I know. It would probably be a thing.
Yeah.
Be like, can't go your whole life. It's not your fault that my dick got cut off at the ceremony.
Right.
Yeah.
Little did you know she hired that robber.
Oh my God. Because she was asexual the whole time.
All right. That's it.
But again, someone asexual is going to be upset. I'm not judging you. I'm not talking about you. Two asexual people want to get married and have a non-sex marriage.
Or
that's great.
An asexual person with the sexual person, if that sexual person decides it's fine.
Yeah, good luck to them.
Okay, that's up to them. Everyone gets to make their own.
Yeah, but
rules,
everyone's got to be honest.
Unless it's incest.
Then you just got to be honest.
Everyone has to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not honest, I think you're
a bad.
You should be able to get out of that.
Sure, I understand that. I also just think it's stupid. Like, annulment to me isn't less than a divorce. Just get a divorce.
Well, but it is in that there's no splitting of communal property. There's no, it just never happened. There's no bunch of legal fees. There's no
But it says the marriage records remain on file.
Yeah, but you no longer have to say I was married and divorced because you weren't.
Now that to me is fraudulent. If I married someone and then later and I found out that they had an annulment, they didn't tell me.
All I'm saying is you're not a divorcee. Who cares?
To me, it's the same thing. If I marry a divorcee
someone should tell somebody
same thing.
if they had an annulment. But I definitely see why, if someone coerced you into wedding, you shouldn't have to go get a divorce and have that be your ex-husband and all these things. No, I think it should be like it never happened.
Interesting. You're very religious now.
I am very. In his name we pray. Under his eye.
Under his eye. All right.
That was it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
God, I don't want you to get an annulment, but it's very fun.
Why?
Well, just because we just talked about it. And I'm wondering, like what avenue.
I don't want to have to go through any of these.
What avenue are you going to pursue?
That is so mean.
Because you have a menu of options. Like, I want this annulled. Which one?
Let's hope it's not incest. Ugh. So sad.
All right. Love
bye.
you.
Love you.